What are the factors that affect the demand? First is price. Price is the most important factor that affects the demand. When price rises, the demand falls and vice versa. Second factor that affects the demand is income. Demand also depends on income of individuals in the society. More the income, more will be the demand. This is pretty obvious. The third factor that affects the demand is the population. An increase in population leads to higher demand. More the number of people in the economy, higher will be the demand. The next factor that affects demand is expectations of the future price. Expectation of future price also affects the demand. If the consumers feel that price of a particular commodity is likely to fall, then they may postpone their plan to purchase that commodity. This will lead to decrease in demand of that particular commodity. The next factor is taste, habit and fashions. These factors also have an effect on demand of various products. The products which may be in fashion will be demanded more even at the same price or even the higher price. People tend to demand the products which are at fashion even if their price is increased. On the flip side, the people tend to avoid buying the products which are out of fashion even if their price have decreased. Next is advertisement and promotion. Advertisement and promotion also play an important role in demand of a particular commodity. The goods which are highly promoted and advertised are likely to have more demand. Next is prices of substitute and complementary products. These factors also affect the demand for a particular commodity. For example, tea and coffee can be considered as substitutes for each other. Hence, the change in price of coffee will affect the demand for tea and vice versa. If the price of coffee increases, some people may start consuming more of tea than coffee, and thereby it will result in increase in demand of tea even if the price of tea hasn't changed. Taxation policy. The demand for various goods in the economy depend upon the level of income of people in the economy. If taxes are high, the consumers will have less income to spend on various commodities, which will result in lower demand of various products in the economy. Distribution of income. Distribution of income in an economy also impacts the demand of various goods in the economy. If there is an unequal distribution of income, a vast majority of population will have a very low income, which in turn would lead to lower demand of various products in the economy. Apart from these factors, there are many other factors that can influence the demand of various goods in the economy. Factors like customs, traditions, change in climate, political and social factors also influence the demand of various commodities in the economy. For example, in India, the demand for various goods and commodities is high during Diwali festival. Similarly, a change in climate also impacts the demand. For example, demand for woolen clothes will be high during the winter and low during the summers.